Hello, welcome to Reframing Mindset Podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day.
Okay, welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. Fake it till I make it somewhere. Yeah, man. I have to say, this episode really is cool. Because levels of experience. It's back. Yes, that's it. These few future episodes are going to be episode that I wanted to record normally. But, it just makes sense just mention them all the time until you have some time to actually, so fake it till I make it somewhere. And this episode is about the fact that so I'm doing this work on every back in the days I want to send up resume randomly and build up resume and then kinda get a now those resume send them out and sometimes I don't even know if they reach or not. First job that are what are most of the jobs that I got are the first few jobs even though link. I the link. It's hard to tell if if you were actually the person that got the job or something like that. The moment you reach a person, right? But that was actually a walking interview. And that was something like, defeated. That was a defeat where that actually I got, you know, no place was to hire me. Podcasting was making no money bro, due to circumstance. And, after actually I go out and find out, the walking interview, actually walking, I got the interview, got the job. And then I said, okay, yes, I actually do it. But boom, it wasn't that I like it. Actually, I got to like, somewhat. I kind of actually like this, like customer service experience maybe. But they, I'm not, I'm more of a problem solver, not more than customer service. Type. But it was fun. But I got my foot in the door in the employment, and so somehow, some way that resume, maybe that resume and my hungriness at that time. So maybe that the resume got me in the door. It was my hungriness at that time that actually got me through the door to say, yeah, actually I need. So what happened now is that maybe this time it the next work that actually I got is maybe not through my hungriness or whatnot. It's through the fact that they actually needed people. So what happens is that I parlay my the momentum first work. Second I say, okay, yeah, nothing did change. Nothing did change. After I got some experience out, maybe HR person said, oh yeah, I got some more on the paper. And then what they actually needed, they call me. Maybe my just outstanding than the other one. I actually look at it and that uh it was that work was some I think in hindsight actually look fun. Like, that work was I was glad for the work, but it's like, big fish in a small fish in a big pond. That work was a small fish. Customer service work actually was this me. But they allow this work now to your out small, that big pond. And be like 4 weeks to learn very sophisticated stuff, bro. With limited money and audience that be sharing was this work was a and why is that? Because it's adult. You know, people is are we're working real. even me, they have the real problem. Where someone else ask for money and then you reach a point when I actually run out of money. All these stuff like rework. So I started, it was something that was something. But somehow I actually I parlayed one experience to another experience and actually reached some where I have more stuff to put on the resume. But what happens is that when I was building the resume, each one of the ideas that I was presenting to me was you know, and but those were actual experience. Those were actually work that actually, that was work that was actually done. So it's like, every time I build the resume, that doesn't make. But no, I reach a point where maybe he was right and said that, those fake it till I make, fake it till I make. Realize that some of those work were actually done. They were actually done as faking it and all, but they were actually experiences that develop and give you certain skills. But it was a work experience. I actually realized the difference between those skills and actually not work. Oh, they can actually separate work experience from the real. Oh, yeah. Actually, I did this. And doing these stuff gave me this skill. But you know what he was saying back in the time, it was wrong. He was wrong. Just that no, I reached a point now where I can actually live. Uh, and that's the thing where we like, fake it. Like sometimes we're not wrong, but they're not letting you through the door. They have to actually just um, find a way through the door. When you find a way through the door, then you can start understanding as to why. But then they will let you in, but and then start speaking. And then you see here somebody out of the blue come in and be like, "Oh my God, world class resume build and all these stuff." I feel like he just actually tweak some stuff and yeah, that's the thing. We actually just come in, take the time to actually say, okay, sometimes I have to go to the and then just take your time and find a reason why they did. And when they do it, it become customer. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's the reason why they got through. I know building a resume now will just be a brief. They'll be like, oh, the default resume give me have this now. I can like just belong on it well easy. Belong on it well easy because the growing template work, the growing template. And that's the thing, more I like without it. And you're out there using the growing way back. I'm like, oh my god, this is the growing template. What else this? I realize, oh, maybe I'll put the interview part of the job. Sometimes it may fast the resume was about it just that uh, uh, you know. So boom, alright, in the working world, everything is a weird. So what make it till make it? But that's actually find out the university years. That's next. The university years actually good for you because you take your time, find some find some skills that you will like, and that's the thing about it. The university year that is very valuable. That the high school years, whatever, is that you find something in your even if you know, find something in your and then boom in the working world, and then you have trouble finding yours. Alright, the start that they're giving you, you don't deal with that. I'm I'm at this point now. Maybe I like teaching, but maybe I don't like. Maybe I just want to be like, yeah, that's the main teach, but days and then stop don't feel like it and be like, okay, no, I don't hear from me again. Years, because we just want like stuff like it's like hear from for years. It's like you just always uh, that's one of the but sometimes the structure is actually vital for me. Actually build structure in the sense that if I would leave it up to me, it would leave up to me obviously would not reach this goal. The customer service builds some discipline that I probably this new work now really like time where I got stuff that was really had the time to manage it and then but through those experiences you actually learn something. In these times now when you actually come here and play now. But you can actually take the time now when you go back to the world. You're smarter than before. Like you're going at you're going next WP and you're so much. I realize nobody and that's the thing about it. I think about the experience you have like when I was working the other job. It's that the fact that I could I mean maybe could do the job or that that thing. That makes sense that they're all happy. That it makes sense. It makes sense. When I reach this level, all these stuff now make perfect sense. Maybe like, oh, 2 years now. Yeah, not I make what would be a normal and that's thing about it, be a revolutionary idea. Then then human stuff kicks in, bro. Then human stuff kicks. Then it's like, oh my god. So build a revolutionary spaceship. And that's why that's why it's something like the aviation industry. Aviation industry like customer service and everything. Service. Revolutionary when it just came up. But we're all human. A human just the same, bro. Humans have humans make the work better. Still have human stuff, and every time we complain about it, humans, other humans, that's the thing. That's that we have situation, human problem, and these human problems is what preventing me progressing in the other human front. Like for example, boom, okay, so trying to start you're working in that industry that requires you to get the people, yeah, you need to do this, you do this to get this and all this. But your work is basically the opposite. Your work is opposite of oh yes. All you need to do is open a bank. All you need to do is open a bank account. Bank that but every bank is either closed. Better per country area something. That's why I guess in a different country here, but the audience. That's what. The for every revolutionary idea, all these into problems. Every time after you reach a new level, you are smart. Each experience is smarter than the previous level. But your is a trade-off, opportunity cost. Opportunity. There always a trade-off. They don't know what to trading off until they reach that level. So what will happen is that each work you're going to, you go there so saying that okay, you want this, you get this. Each work you're going to, you're going there smartly and say, okay, yeah, I'm going here for this. No. And I have the representation out there and showing them that okay, yes, you can do this. No. But then you realize oh they're trading off some that, and that's the reason why I need frame of perspective in these things where even though you're trading off something, you need to be a good part experience. You need to be smart to know what that means about what they it can't be going there as it can't be going there, can't be going there and be like putting in the work to get this. Putting in the work and showing oh yes I have to make every time I clock every time I clock in count. Every time I clock in it counts and I say yeah, this is what I'm going here for. Boom bang, pref and then walk. Makes sense to leave the every time and every time I go in there, it's clear. Like and that's the thing. They already know that book. You know, that's the difference. It's like maybe you're not the best worker, but every time I clock in, they know say book. You're getting, you know, exactly as I exactly as I was. You're getting. I can give you this, but yo, how about that stuff out here? So I want to do, you know, when I feel like I can give you this when I'm you know. But yeah, you actually have some. That's maybe like make it till I make it somewhere. And when I make it somewhere now, then I actually be better experience. So yeah, I we you know we change certain and then nothing did change really. It just that you're going into the same thing, richer, more smarter, and it's like you know you're making better demand. Your demands are more competent. Your demands are more competent. You'll be like you're going there and say, okay, you know, you do it, you're asking for this. And be like, it makes sense now. You know, back in the days, you would say, oh, and that's the way I'd be like, yo, sometimes you have to, it does make sense at the time. But over time, you understand why it makes sense. And that's the reason why I instill it. And when I instill it in my child now, instead in somebody else, the struggle of getting that first time, it's actually simple now. But the reason why, you know, I didn't get at that time. It just go to know you can actually go there and then what happens that compound now and that issue does solve and that issue does solve and then for years upon years you don't you don't hear everybody complain. Years upon years you don't even hear on that but oh yeah, this was the reason I am be like yeah, so that's basically it. I didn't remember that. Ah, yeah, I didn't remember the topic, but something I was talking about. The topic. Yeah, what? I said these things. Oh yeah, fake it till I make it. Fake it till I make it somewhere. Then actually have some sense to actually fake it till I make it somewhere. Then when I make it somewhere, then I actually go in and so you get. This relates to the episode where I talk about where I talk. Sometimes I can't afford an expert cost, an expert person. If you actually reach a certain level, you can't are an expert advice. You can always question a yeah, episode of that. You can always question expert person advice. Then you know, take the time to question it. And then we go through it, we realize that okay, that's the reason why they do it. So, yeah. Now you know that that's the reason why it's done. And then when you understand it, you know you done that way, you appreciate it. But then you'll be questioning as well as to why they, and then you will know how to. That's why the lady. That's right. When every year they say E equal MC square, bro. Even in the grave, bro. Even in the grave, my boy Einstein can still tell you why E equal MC square. Bro. Even to this day, and we can't dispute. Can't dispute why E equal MC. Yeah, we can't dispute it. But we can always try to find other ways and all these stuff. But that's the next level of science. Right? We have after I prove that equal, we can try different variation of what people attempting to try to disprove that equal it did not equal MP square. But actually, when I reach this level, maybe actually that is actually more right. This something that was that that we call obvious now, but maybe it's actually funny. This- I say right now I'm in the 4th year of home ownership. And what the next thing that I thought is, so if you remember one of the years, no, I was just talking about moving from. So what I actually do, I actually I found use for those stones. So what happened was that all those stones were blocking up the black way. But actually didn't know actually found use for those stones. Actually I found use for those stones now. So you can actually use this for them. And that thing. So what means I go in the first year, I call a fixer upper, as they say, a fixer upper. Sometimes they stop. Sometimes the best thing to do is sometimes don't throw away the stuff them. Just move them at certain place. Or over time, I get some host experience. I can make some move. And and over time, I get house smart. House smart. So, so that's why sometimes I recall my the episode they hear me getting less science smart and more house smart. I don't make much. And then over time, it's to me to get less customer service smart, but more aviation. Because things and I can't afford the things that I'm out here. So I have to actually become smart and different enough to get the stuff that I need to manifest to get the other. So that's why this podcast episode is really interesting. But all in the world I end up going to something like aviation. I was customer service last year. But what happens is that now this year now experiencing the issue for uh, that service. Next year now, boom, I solved my aviation issues. But then I'm out there so somehow the issue that I was complaining about they start coming and start happening to me. I'm grateful for the fact that but maybe back in the days I had those aviation issues, bro. Yeah, maybe back in the days I had those aviation issues. So I get all those aviation issues that they were out there messing up, but we're glad that we have them. Glad that we have them because back in the days we didn't have a chance to even get to have these aviation. Uh, that's the thing. They have to just take the time and that's the thing, compound interest. Sometimes I don't feel like something is happening, but just at the right time. I guess when the time comes, you actually appreciate it more better than before. That's basically for this episode. Thank you for listening and look forward for the next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.